It's always sad to see a beloved TV character killed off, and it's not just the viewers of a show who find it difficult to say goodbye. Although some actors ask for their characters to be killed, usually if they're hoping to end their tenure on a certain series, others are devastated to learn their character is facing death. Sometimes, these actors even express their displeasure with their exits, like Kenneth Hill with Game of Thrones' Varys and Laurie Holden with The Walking Dead's Andrea. Occasionally, actors will go beyond venting their frustrations, too. There are a number of TV stars who have asked for their characters to be kept alive after learning about the writer's plans for them. In most cases, this approach doesn't actually change the direction of the show, though it can result in the actor returning in some fashion later on. However, there are rare instances where fighting to keep a character around has paid off. And even when it hasn't, it's interesting to see who asked to stay on a show and why. 5. Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Denny Duquette in Grey's Anatomy. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is best known for his involvement in series like The Walking Dead and Supernatural, but the actor also had a role in Grey's Anatomy, and it's one he didn't want to leave behind. Morgan played Denny Duquette in the hit medical drama, but the character is both introduced and killed off in Season 2. Even with such a short stint in the role, Morgan made the character a fan favorite. And when he found out about Denny's Grey's Anatomy Season 2 death, he begged Shonda Rhimes not to kill him off. Morgan admitted as much during an episode of Hot Ones, noting how influential both Denny and his romance with Izzy were. It's clear Morgan enjoyed his time on the show, even if Rhimes didn't honor his request. Morgan did what he could to keep Denny around, recalling, "Unfortunately, Grey's Anatomy went through with Denny's death, having him succumb to a stroke." However, Morgan returned as the character multiple times after the fact, with the series using hallucinations and dreams to keep his presence alive. So while Morgan didn't get to continue playing Denny all the time, it's nice that he didn't have to totally say goodbye to the character in Season 2. 4. Ella Purnell. Jackie Taylor in Yellow Jackets. The writing was on the wall for Jackie Taylor from the beginning of Yellow Jackets, but that didn't make it easier for Ella Purnell to say farewell to the Showtime series. Jackie's death in the Yellow Jackets Season 1 finale is a turning point for the story. It sets the stage for the other girls to lose their connection to civilization, and it foreshadows the loss and darkness to come. Because of what Jackie's death represents, she needs to die fairly early in Yellow Jackets. However, Purnell asked if she could stick around a bit longer before freezing to death in the wilderness. Purnell told The Hollywood Reporter that she was initially glad she only had a one-year contract, as it meant she had more freedom to pursue other roles. However, she eventually realized she didn't want Jackie to perish, leading to her request. Sadly, there was no way to keep Jackie around any longer, but Purnell has gotten to reprise her role even after Jackie's death. Shauna's guilt over her best friend's demise allows Jackie to haunt Yellow Jacket's narrative, which offers the perfect way to include Purnell in the story still. Her role isn't as big as it was in Season 1, but her frequent appearances prove how critical Jackie remains to the series. 3. Ian McElhinney. Barristan Selmy in Game of Thrones. After being removed from Joffrey's Kingsguard in Game of Thrones Season 1, Sir Barristan Selmy becomes one of Daenerys Targaryen's most trusted advisors. Unfortunately, he doesn't get to accompany her to Westeros, as he's killed by the Sons of the Harpy in Game of Thrones Season 5. This fate is somewhat surprising, as the character is still alive in George R.R. Martin's Song of Ice and Fire books. For this reason, his on-screen fate is somewhat controversial. And apparently, even actor Ian McElhinney wasn't a huge fan of it. The Game of Thrones star recalled making the case for keeping Sir Barristan around during an interview with the Huffington Post. He spoke to showrunners David Benioff and D.B. Weiss about why Barristan is too important to lose, though he ultimately accepted their decision on the matter. McElhinney isn't the only Game of Thrones star who wasn't thrilled with their character's fate, especially by the time the series came to a close. But it's nice to know that he fought for his character, especially knowing that his arc didn't match the one in Martin's books. It would have been interesting to see where Game of Thrones took Sir Barristan if he hadn't perished, but given Dany's eventual descent into villainy, he would likely have still died sooner or later. 2. Melissa McBride. Carol Palatir in The Walking Dead. Melissa McBride is one of the rare actors who made a case for keeping her character around and saw it happen, and it's difficult to imagine The Walking Dead if things had gone any other way. McBride portrays Carol in The Walking Dead and its spin-off series, and she has become a staple and fan favorite of that universe. Although Carol has grown a lot over the course of the franchise, the producers originally wanted to kill her off early in her tenure. McBride recalled this at Comic-Con International, via Digital Spy, as well as how she spoke up for her